I'm joined by University of Central Oklahoma wide receiver and MIAA Freshman of the Year, Ashton Schumann. Ashton, thank you for taking time this evening to come on and talk to me. Could you start by telling the viewers and listeners a little bit about yourself?
All right. My name's Ashton Schumann. I'm a redshirt freshman this season at UCO. I had a great season, but there was a lot more that went into it for me. So I transferred from Tulsa my first year. There's a coaching switch. New coaches didn't really like me, so I decided to enter the portal, and that's when Coach Donald, Curley, and Coach Doral, looked at me, turned to me, and said, "We'd love to have you here." And I had a buddy who went up here, so I decided to ultimately choose Central Oklahoma, and had a great season. We brought in good pieces, and it just ended up working out for me.
Now, you're one of the, I don't want to say handful anymore, but you're one of the contingent from the state of Texas. Now, I always am curious to talk to Texans because, Oklahoma high school football historically has always been a step below. Now, I know it's getting more closer to Texas. There's still a little bit of a gap. But from your experience, what is playing high school football in the state of Texas like?
It was very challenging. You play good people every week, and everyone's really good. Like, I went against dudes who went Power 5, who went 5-star, 4 stars. But there's a lot of good athletes in Oklahoma as well. A lot of my friends up here, played football in Oklahoma, and I haven't went to a game yet, but I've seen some of the state games, and they look competitive, and they look good as well.
Now, when I was watching your tape, I think maybe it's in general, might surprise some people. I feel like you and Jalen are like deceptively fast because when you're watching you all play, it doesn't look as if you all are moving fast, but then like you see this wide separation between you and the defender. Like do you kind of get that when people are kind of surprised by your speed, just given like how slow it appears that you're moving on the field?
Yeah, I get it all the time. Curly has a joke that it was against MSSU, and at the touchdown down the sideline, he always makes fun of the way I run, and I get that a lot. Like, I run stiff, it is what it is, but I try to get moving, and I feel like that is a good thing. I feel like I open up. Once I get opened up, I start running faster, and I feel like I'm deceptively fast. I agree.
And something that I also didn't know, you ran track. I was not aware of this until I was doing my research. And what I found was you ran track 200-meter times of 22.64 and 23.08 while also participating in the 4x200 and 4x400. Um, how did that or does that help you in terms of football?
Oh, it helps me. It helped me a lot, to be honest. And those were some of my times at the beginning. I didn't run too many opens, so they weren't the greatest. But that was my first year ever running track, and I was really forced to run track because they say like football players got to do it. So that was my junior year, and 4x4 had to stay till the very end. That was terrible, but I have had some good races in the 4x4.
So like that was just like a thing, like they made all football players do really so like
Yeah, that's how my high school was. They made us do it, and it kind of it worked out for us.
okay. Now would you have done it of your own accord?
Probably. Hindsight, yeah, because it would make me faster, but the practices suck. Like, the practices are terrible.
So like what was a standard track practice like?
Dude, it was just a lot of I remember this one day, it was a lot of 300s. Just full sprint 300s. You had to make it in I don't even know, probably 35 seconds, 40 seconds maybe. I don't know. But the pace was fast. It was terrible. It was bad.
Now, when you look back on your high school career, what kind of sticks out the most to you, or do you most take away from it?
When I look back at it, it's really the process. Like, having to trust the process. I started off like I'll look at my freshman, like just the videos I had training my freshman year, and it was just crazy to me, like how much I could grow in such a little amount of time. And I didn't realize like during it, but afterwards, like I put in time and effort, and it paid off for me because I'm not like genetically gifted. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the tallest. I'm not the strongest. I can't jump the highest. But I feel like what gives me kind of the chance or the opportunity to do what I do is just the work ethic, to never give up, never listen to people, because I could have listened to so many people that just told me like to stop, like I'll never make it, that it won't happen. So just looking back on it, I'm just thankful I was put on the journey that I was put on.
And now coming out of Clear Springs, you were a 3-star recruit by 24/7 Sports. You chose Tulsa over Air Force, Army, Navy, and Lamar. What was it about Tulsa coming out of Clear Springs that's made you decided at that time where you wanted to play your college ball?
Yeah, so early on in the process, they started recruiting me. So originally, it was my sophomore year. I didn't do much on the field. I probably had 160 something yards, I think, that season. And then I had to stop that season due to injury. But Tulsa started recruiting me sophomore year. They were actually recruiting me as like a tight end, kind of like a wing back originally. That coach ended up getting fired. Then I started talking to the new receiver coach. And then just throughout my junior year, I always said, like, I'm going to their camp. I'm going to their camp. I knew they were taking one more person. And, I didn't really think the academies were for me. So, I went to this camp probably 2 days before high school football practice, like the start of the season. I ended up getting the offer, knew they were taking one more dude. I've seen what I've liked. I like the staff. I talked to them. So I decided to commit there out of high school.
And now you redshirted your lone season. That now what was that experience like? Because I imagine obviously adjusting to college in itself is challenging, but then you go from being the top dog in high school, you're starting every game, you're getting a lot of balls thrown your way, to now only practicing. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was a struggle. So I graduated high school a semester early. I went up there December. So I ended up staying there for a year. The coach that recruited me left before I got up there, but it was kind of too late in the process. I kind of stayed committed to the new staff. The new coaches didn't really like me. The receiver coach, Coach Switz, he liked me. The head coach wasn't, the biggest fan of mine. He brought in a couple other people, but it was very challenging for me mentally, especially. That redshirt, you're not playing, you're just practicing just to practice. So I wasn't really a scout team guy. I was with the offense. I traveled every game, I'd watch them, and I was just kind of a practice kind of player. Got 3 plays probably against OU just to run block. So it was challenging mentally, honestly. And I would lie to you if I told you I wasn't thinking about just quitting football when I entered the portal. And then I was talking to my family, and I was like, you know what, I probably would regret it. So I was like, I'll give it one more chance. And it, worked out great. So thankful for my time there at Tulsa. Kind of shaped me who I am today, it made me who I am. So I'm thankful for my time there.
Now I was going to ask because similar to your teammate Jacob Delsa when he transferred from Eastern Michigan, right? When you enter the portal, a lot of guys will have film from a year, 2 years, 3 years. You really only, I would assume, would have what little practice film that you have
Yeah,
with your high school film. So
exactly.
with that disadvantage, like what was your portal experience like?
It's pretty quiet a lot of the time. I talked to a lot of FCS schools, and they just said, like, we don't have offers in the spring. Like, we used them all. We're not really looking for a portal dude right now. So they were like, you could walk on and then get a scholarship or earn a scholarship when we have one. I was like, San Angelo, they called me. They ended up offering me. So I was like, I'm going to post it, see what else happens, see, what I can work out. And Coach Donald, who was here, he actually is an alum from my high school. He went there. So he recruited Keelan. He recruited him to UCO. And then so I got in contact with Coach Donald. He got me with Doral, and then the rest was kind of left at that.
So when that connection was made, after looking at your options available, you obviously decided that UCO was going to be the best bet. What was it about UCO that made you decide to transfer here and continue your career?
Yeah, so really, I think I had like a week. I think it was a week till I had to sign. I visited the three schools. I visited San Angelo, Southwestern Oklahoma, and then UCO last. And the facilities were crazy, but what Coach Curley was saying lined up to what Coach Switz was saying at Tulsa. So I've already learned it. I've kind of talked to it, and then I sat and watched film with Curley. I really like the offense. He said they're looking for more receivers to throw the ball to. We're bringing in a quarterback, guys, and I know they had Dawson's, like they had a quarterback that was there, and they're bringing in a Jet. I didn't know Jet at the time, but dog. So it was really the facilities and what the coaching staff was telling me, and just yeah, it was really just the like atmosphere kind of. It's just it's hard to say no to a place like this. Like the facilities are crazy; they're top notch, better than most FCS schools I've seen. Very comparable to bigger schools. So just a nice area. What the coaching staff was saying, like stuff like that.
Now, when you get here, because now this is your second school in as many years, so like you're not having to adjust again. What was that adjustment period like coming in as a transfer, trying to establish yourself within a team that a lot of guys have been together for quite a few years?
Yeah, no, it was tough, but it honestly isn't too bad. You just kind of have to make friends, and I feel like that's easy to do here. Um, the receiver room, they were very open with me. All the guys, Hagen, especially as my dog, Romero, all of them, Unk, TD, I can, name them all, but they were very opening. They could, it's easy to connect with people when you have like something like football, like a platform like football. So it's just easy just to connect, um, get along with, because you're working out with them nonstop. So you have to buy into their culture, learn how to do stuff. So for the most part, you're just quiet, kind of talking off the field. And then you start getting used to the workouts. You start, get going. You get close with your rack. Then you get close with the other racks. Then you get close with your position group with the team. It's just kind of building blocks, just getting used to the environment and all that.
Now I remember when I talked to Jacob a handful of times, he kept bringing you up, and that's one of those where it's like I saw your name listed. I don't remember if it was signing. It was signing day somewhere. Where they had announced that you had joined, and he kept bringing your name up. And usually, when someone brings somebody's name up unprovoked, that usually is a good sign. So, what is the relationship like between or with you and Jacob? Because he seemed to be advocating for you, at least to me, a lot and often very early. I mean, like very, very, very early in the off season.
Yeah, no, it was just so me and him kind of have a similar situation as far as transferring and then, coming in from a D1, coming in from a bigger school. So, he kind of just welcomed me. We kind of got extra work in early on and off the field. And he just brought me in and kind of showed me what it was like at the D2 level, how it's very, comparable to D1, how we want to win more games this year, how we're changing the offense, how to run routes, why he did it a certain way, So we just had we had good open communication about different things. And, he just helped welcome me here.
And how long would it say it took you before you felt really comfortable within the program, within the team?
It happened, I feel like, very fast. I don't remember. I had so Keelan Morgan came here, and I played football with him since I was 5. So, I kind of had a built-in kind of friend here that could help me meet other people and get close with other dudes on the team. So, I'd say I got back to it pretty fast. Just getting used to the team and getting close with them.
Now you came at an interesting time because we were coming off a disappointing season. The expectations were high coming off a surprising 2022 season. As you know, a lot of your teammates, this was their last go round, so it almost felt like a now or never. So when you all so like what was that, I guess, like for you coming into such a critical season? Because it's year three under Coach Goudeau. Year threes are always big. This was a very senior led team. So knowing the maybe the external pressure, what was that like for you coming into a new scenario in which this was the case?
Yeah. There's a lot of stress, I feel like, but at the same time, there wasn't. I feel like everyone, we just bought in and we just became so like tight and so well meshed as a team that I feel like when you love each other like we did as a family, it's you go out there and you fight with your teammates. Like, so we kind of knew it was going to be a challenge, but I feel like we just loved each other so much. Like at practice, we just wanted to go hard against each other. But the end of the day, we're a family, we're a team, so we're going to keep each other healthy. But we were working. Like we knew we had to do good this season, and we kind of knew even during the season, like as it kept going, we just kept our head down. We were like felt like a doubted team, so we just had to keep our head down, keep grinding, keep going forward, just keep it rolling. I still after last season, how it ended, we're not we feel like we haven't accomplished what we should have. We feel like we should keep working, keep moving forward. We're never settling. We moved on past last season. We're moving forward, ready to see where things go.
And so your first game in the UCO uniform, it came in the dominant win over Langston, which you had 2 catches for 11 yards. Talk about what were your nerves? What were you feeling going into that game, knowing like, all right, I'm going to get some significant playing time for the first time in my college career. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I went in that game super nervous. First college game, I was winning as a backup. I kind of expected uh, to get some playing time, and the way we were scoring on them, I knew it was coming sooner or later. But I was very nervous, just not having any college snaps, not significant college snaps. So getting to go in early, it helped settle my nerves for the season a little bit and just kind of get the first one out of the way and just kind of keep it going.
And that first catch, what were the emotions now? Because there's a lot of high school players who don't make it to college, let alone be able to get in the game, record a statistic. What was that like for you when you got your first career catch?
It was kind of like a humbling experience, like I was just thankful for the catch, but I feel like I deserved more things, but I guess I say I expect to do more things than just one catch. So, I was kind of just like catch it, throw the ball back in, get set, get lined up, do it again, let's go. Like that's just the first one of many. So let's keep it rolling.
And after that game, did you feel more confident now that you got that out of the way, that you've shown you can play at this level, you can contribute at this level? Was there a different vibe going into that Central Missouri game for you?
Yeah. So I was still kind of nervous because they told me I would start that week. So I was, getting nervous but yeah, it definitely helped ease some nerves. Like I had some playing time. I was on the field with these dudes. Like I can do it. I've seen the light at the end of the tunnel.
And I think this was the game where most people on the UCO side of things really learned the name Ashton Schumann. Now, against, I think they were the number 2 team in the country at that point in time. You had 9 catches for 111 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, I think the touchdown was most stood out the most because number one, that crowd audio was insane when you scored that touchdown. But that catch, it seemed, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't know where Jet was going, and I just saw a blue jersey snag it out of the air and run for the touchdown. So kind of like walk me through how you were able to score that touchdown.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, we'll start off absolute dime by Jet, a dot. I knew when I saw the play come in and it was kind of like this double move we had set up. I seen it called and I was like, okay, I'm on the short side of the field. Realistically, I see him throwing it to me. Wait, were we? I don't even know if we're on the short side of the field, but I kind of knew the way it was. I feel like it was coming to me the whole way. I thought it was coming to me. I did the double move. I feel like the DB just sat low and he didn't expect it. He ended up telling me afterwards, he's like, I didn't know you could run so fast. And, there comes the deceptive speed, but ran down the sideline. It was beautifully placed. I just caught it. And then the dude started like tackling me at the 10. I was like, I'm not letting this dude tackle me. I'm getting in the end zone somehow. And then threw him in the end zone pretty much and got the touchdown. So it was great. That was a crazy experience, playing the number 2 team in the country. I think, what was it, 0-0 probably at the time? Maybe we might have scored once. I don't know. But it was a crazy experience. Like the crowd was going crazy. It was surreal experience.
Yeah, that was a very weird game because it was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter, and I don't think anybody associated with either team thought we'd have a defensive slugfest after one quarter, and then the scoring just went insane the last 3 quarters. Uh, getting that win, I think you surprised a lot of people. What did that do for you all's confidence at that point in time? Really, I mean, handling at that time was a top 2 team.
Yeah, really, I feel like the confidence started week 1, but just seeing 72 on the board, like we kind of knew in the offseason that's what we wanted to do. Like we wanted to light up the scoreboard. We wanted to put up points. We kind of figured our defense would get stops. So just coming up, playing the number 2 team, I know I was nervous myself, but I feel like we had it like that. I feel like we prepared for this moment. We could do it. And, we just did it. And then it just built confidence. You beat the number 2 team in the country. Now you got to go into week 3 showing people like it's not a fluke. Like we are who we are and we're going to win games. So we just had to prove to other people. I feel like we just had to win and win and win and win and win and win.
And you mentioned that next week because that was the first road game. Kearney is a very tough place to play. We've not been great on the road the past couple of years. And then you proceed to have, I think, a season high in catches of 12 there. You were like extremely close to tying TD's record that he just set the week prior. What does that mean to you to have a big part in getting that crucial road win at that point in time for you all?
Yeah, so like you said, uh, they weren't used to winning games on the road. Like that coming in, that's what I was told the off season. Like we struggle with the road games. Let's prepare for the road, prepare for the road, prepare for the road. So those 2 opening wins, helps build momentum into that road game. And we were like, we're gonna break the curse. This team, we're gonna do it. So we just came in and just got to work. The ball was finding me early with what they were doing on defense. They'd bail, so we'd run a lot of hitches. And I got, O-line, held up. Jet threw a great ball. I just caught it, and I just ran forward, So just glad the ball found me, as much as it did. That's always a great feeling as a receiver, just doing what you're taught to do and the ball making it there. And, Jet, those great balls. So.
And now, because you were a couple of catches off of tying TD. Now, I don't know, were you aware of that fact after the game, how close you came? What were were you kind of like disappointed that you weren't able to make his, climb atop the record book short lived? Like, well, I mean, what, how did, I'm like, man, he couldn't even let like TD breathe.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like I love like it would be awesome to break records, but in the situation I am, it's my first year playing, I'm just trying to go win games. We just beat the number 2 team in the country. I'm thinking we have an opportunity to do good. So, I'm just kind of like the role player. Just do what I can when the ball finds me. I can't expect to get, 15 targets, get all the catches, So I'm just thankful that I even had 12, to be honest. But yeah, it'd be nice to break a record.
And then the Fort Hayes I think is most memorable for not only for just the way you all just thoroughly dominated a really good football team, but it's just the way the offense just came out the gates after an uneven performance the week prior. Like what kind of was the mindset offensively going into that Fort Hayes game? Because I mean, you all came out and just never really stopped.
Yeah, so like we kind of just, I mean, we do what we do. We kind of we're an explosive offense. We just feel like we had to win the game and win games. Our defense was going crazy that game, but man, Joe was throwing great balls. TD's wide open, dogging people. So like everything just worked out. Defense got stopped, so line was blocking. We just played a good game. Like we just wanted to keep it moving. We didn't want to lose yet, so we just keep going.
And then the following week, you had your second 100-yard game, which was most impressive because it came on only 4 catches. You had 116 yards, 2 scores, a 61-yarder. What was working for you there?
Really, like I say, it just really takes one big catch to have 100 yards. I mean, you seen the first catch I had; it was probably 60 something yards. So like that alone will help me get more yards. But the ball was just finding me, and I was just able to find the end zone. Some weeks it's like that. Some weeks the ball finds you in a great situation, and there's other weeks where I'll get 12 catches with all like hitch routes. So I just try to do what I do when the ball finds me. I can't make the ball. I'm not one of those dudes that's gonna be selfish saying, "Oh, throw it to me here, throw it to me there." Like I'm just gonna do what I do when the ball finds me.
And you mentioned the kind of ups and downs there, where like you said, one week it might be 12 catches, another week it could be 4 catches but over 100 yards. Some weeks it might only be 2 or 3 catches, maybe 20, 30 yards. How do you kind of balance the highs and lows and keep a level head at times where the ebb and flows might not be great production wise?
Yeah. When you're playing on a team with great receivers, multiple threats, and then two running backs, two quarterbacks, like you can't expect to get the ball, every drive or every game, have two touchdowns, 12 plus catches, 10 plus catches, 100 plus yards. Like it just doesn't happen, So I'm just kind of realistic about it. Like just keeping an open mind. Like we have a bigger goal as a team. Like I'm not going to sit here and be selfish, wanting more yards and more touchdowns when we're winning games, beating good teams. Like, so, it's just more of being understanding as a receiver. Like, we're on a good team, fast paced offense. We throw a lot of deep balls. Like, we can run the ball too. Like, it's just being realistic, probably.
And then Northeastern State. Now that might have been the most wildest game I've seen in quite some time. Because it was 40-14, and then you all scored before the half, and then the second half you all come back and win that football game. You had a big touchdown in that football game. What does that mean to you to have a score, and not only a rivalry game, but in a comeback of that magnitude?
Yeah. So we were in there at halftime, and I feel like we were down, 40 something to 21. Ridge had that big touchdown before the half, but we went into half and I feel like we didn't lose. Like I feel like we weren't losing. I feel like I knew we were going to win the whole game, and I'm not even just saying that to say that. I'm being like honest about that. Like I figured we were going to win that game. The ball found me that first drive out of half early, and I just kept trying to do what I could when the ball found me. The ball ended up finding me, so I just got in the end zone when I could, and then I had that other deep fade. Then our defense showed up big. Everyone just showed up in the second half, and we came to win. We knew we didn't want our season to end. We knew we didn't want to lose the President's Cup. So, we just came out and did what we did the second half and came out as a team and showed we could do it.
And now Montreal, because when I talked to Montreal, he said something similar. Like it didn't feel like from your perspective that you all were losing the game. It was almost more of like a we're beating ourselves type of thing. Now I feel like a lot of teams well, when the game is going like that, I think I mentioned like in the Discord, like their kicker was like two or six entering the game, and he was hitting like 47 yards. I feel like it had been very easy to just say like, well, it's just not our day, and kind
Yeah.
of pack it in. But you all fought and you all won that game. I mean, did you all learn anything about yourselves with that comeback, or was it just more of like an affirmation of like, we're really good when we play our best football?
It was kind of a mix of both. Like we kind of saw a different side of us, like, oh, we can come back and win. But then we also saw the other side where it's like we could lose, like anything could happen. So I feel like it just kind of opened our eyes. Like we just got to come out every week and be dominant and just keep going, just keep our foot on the pedal, keep working in practice for the weeks prior or for the weeks after. Yeah, so just eye-opening experience, to be honest. But it was great knowing we can come back and win, find a way to win. That was a positive.
And that being your first President's Cup, because I feel like, I mean, I'm sure you heard about it from the guys, but experiencing that and for that to be your first cup, um, did it kind of live up to what you were told about the rivalry game? Did it exceed your expectations? Like, what were your thoughts after that?
It definitely exceeded my expectations because that game was a lot closer than I really originally would have thought it was, would have been. And it was a nerve-wracking game towards the end. And our defense just came out and our offense came out and we just came to win the second half. And it was a great game just because we came back and win. Now, if we lose, I don't think I would be saying that, but it is what it is.
And knowing that you played a part in keeping the cup in Edmond for 10 straight years, um, what does that mean to you? Because I know for the seniors, guys like Dylan that's been here for 80 years, like that's still a big thing. Like you don't want to be that team that loses the cup, let alone with a chance to keep it for 10 years. What does that mean to you to have a part in that historic win?
Yeah, when you get a chance to be a big part in any game, it's just a blessing, to be honest. Like because like I said, there's ups and downs. There's some games you'll have a lot of catches, and the fact that I had a couple big catches in that game and a touchdown that you know helped us win that game. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
Now the following week is when you had your first setback against Pitt State. Now that was a game individually. You had almost 100 yards, 9 catches, a touchdown. Um, I felt like I felt like most of the fans, I think myself included, we weren't necessarily like down after the game because it really felt like it was an even matchup. Had a few more things have gone our way, it could have easily been on the flip side. But I know seeing a lot of you all after that game, just the emotions there. I saw some watery eyes and stuff like that. Um, what were you all feeling in that moment? Like, did you feel like you all had like let each other down? Like, what kind of was the vibes after that?
You know, uh, I feel like there was mixed vibes. Like you were saying. There was definitely signs of positives. Like to start off, I feel like we should have won that game. Like we beat ourselves. We just didn't play at the same times. Sometimes our defense would go and our offense wouldn't, and then our offense would go and our defense wouldn't. So, it's just kind of eye opening. Like we can lose. Like we're a beatable team as well. But we're hanging in there with the big dogs. Like we should have beat them. We beat ourselves. They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. So, it's just kind of eye opening. Like we got to get back to work. We got to just put our head back down and keep grinding. Can't think about it too much. It's a tough loss, but it's a really good team. So we just kind of expected. We wanted to see them later in the playoffs.
And you mentioned that you had to get back to work because back in 2022, I think we were 5-2 at the time we played Pitt State. It was homecoming again, and we lost that game by 31 points. And after that, there was a slid that cost us a chance at a bowl game. I remember trying to tell as many guys as I could find that were on that team, like, let's not get a repeat How are you all able to mentally put that behind you all and then go into Missouri Western, a game that like it was weird from the start because the weather was terrible, the weather delay. Like, how are you all able to mentally put that tough loss behind you and then go on the road and get a very tough win?
Yeah, no, it was challenging. We just had to keep going. Like that was just we lost, oh well, but we had big things ahead of us. We're still, I think, what was that, week 7? So we were 6-1, 7-1, and we just had to keep going. I mean, we still had everything we wanted in front of us. That was what's said. We have everything we want in front of us, so we just got to keep pushing, keep going.
And the Missouri Western game, I felt like it. Some people say a game's a tale of two halves. I felt like this was a game of two weather delays because I feel like, but before the weather delay, it was going. I felt like as best as it could given the circumstances of the weather and how that limited both offenses. First, what was that weather delay like? Because that was like nearly an hour. That I mean, you all were just cooped up in the locker room.
Yeah, no, we were just sitting in the locker room. I mean, we were just relaxing, trying not to get too comfortable, but we didn't want to be too uptight to where when we went out there, we were just like, we didn't want to be messing around when we came out there, but we didn't want to be too locked in too early to where we can't stay focused, if that makes sense in a way. So it's just challenging, but we knew like we didn't come all this way to lose. Like we didn't want 2 losses, 3 losses, 4 losses, so we just wanted to get back on our winning streak, get back, hot, how we do things, just keep winning. That was kind of the goal. So we knew we were going to find a way to win the game somehow. So we knew, we had to stay focused enough to where we can come out and do it again.
And you mentioned that you all felt like you knew you were going to be able to win that football game. I think a lot of us were losing hope there later that he got in the game. But you all were able to make the plays. I mean, there was Kobe's 92-yard punt return. Then there was the breakup. Then there was the drive to tie the game. And then obviously there was overtime. Like even before those events happened, given the time on the clock, the score, the way things had been going, like was there ever a sense of panic on the sideline, a sense of like not thinking that you all could find a way to eke out the win?
I'm sure some people believe that we couldn't win, but I feel like a lot of us, believed we could win. I feel like this is where I go back to the NSU game. Like I'm thankful we had a game like that where we shown we can come back and win. So I kind of feel like there was hope, and we were starting to run out of chances. And then, like you said, Kobe rammed that one back, and that sparked everyone alive. It sparked our defense again. Our defense is making huge hits, huge stops, making plays. Then our offense came out and, put us an opportunity to go into overtime. And then Nikki, made the game-winning field goal. So, like, I feel like we all just kind of came alive, and we all just kind of had that culture and that love for each other where it's like, I'm not going to let you down. So, all aspects of the game were going, our offense, our special teams, our defense, and we were just all moving, going towards the same goal of winning, the conference.
And now, what was that locker room like after that game? Because I'm sure that had to have been very exhilarating.
Hey, it was great. It was great. It was hype. So I think I had like one catch that game for like probably 15 yards. I don't know, like a first down. But I told my parents like that was the most fun game I've had genuinely, because like it was a overtime game winning field goal game to seal a comeback victory. Like it was hype and it was exciting. Like, so just seeing the excitement on everyone's face, like knowing like we just won a game that could have went so easily, could have went left. So, it was hype. It was a great experience.
Now, I want to confirm because now when I talked to Montreal, now he told me that in the midst of the celebration, there were some people, and I think he said himself included, that were eating fruit snacks.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
So halftime, yeah, there'll be fruit snacks laying out. Add to the game, we were hungry. All those breaks were hungry because we didn't want to eat too much during the break because, we'll go back out there, probably like throw up or something. So we're like, okay, there's fruit snacks laying out, there's waters everywhere. We're just getting what we could. Like we were hungry.
I'm just trying to picture it, like in the middle of just like pure euphoria and celebration. There's just dudes chilling, eating fruit snacks. That is fantastic. That is fantastic.
Yeah. I wish like he was lying, but he's probably telling the truth.
That is fantastic. So then the following week, you all go to Washburn, and a win there would give you a minimum a share of the first ever MIAA championship. What was the vibes going into that game? Did you all add any more pressure to yourselves, or was it just we just need to go in there and play our game and get the win?
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like there was definitely like a sense of added pressure being on the road, having to travel, having to do all that. But like, I mean, we've been doing it all season. We've been finding ways to win. So going into it, I feel like just do what we do, prepare how we prepare. Iron sharpens iron. Just go hard in practice, and then when game comes, just relax, breathe, do what we do. So, just kind of back to what I was saying, like foot on the pedal, just keep moving forward. That game it got stressful at the end. It got nerve-wracking when they lined up for the field goal, but I kind of knew that win would, probably might have helped us, and it ended up helping us, and we ended up I didn't even know they got a piece of it. I thought he just kicked it in the wind, and then later on finding they got a piece of it, I was hyped. Like that was an awesome way to win a game.
Yeah, I remember because Chris Brand, that was my first ever road game, and I was sitting with Chris Brannick, and we're sitting there, we're just like, man, like to get this close, and if it ends like that, and it was like you saw the kick, and I knew immediately it was blocked because the trajectory of the ball, it went up and then just quickly went back down, and I was like, how does this team keep doing this? Like there's NSU, there's Missouri Western. Okay, fine, I could better see that. But then we get a game-winning block. Like we haven't had that since 2018. I just like, how do you all find ways to win these games when the odds would probably dictate like zero to little chance?
No, yeah, I agree. Like it's just insane to be able to find ways to win the game like that. But I feel like that's what you do when you have a team with such great culture, and like we're all so close, we're all bought in together. Like we're gonna find a way to make something happen. At some point, everyone's gonna do their 111th, and I feel like we're just a team with culture. A team that loves each other.
And you found the end zone in that game. So now, knowing your score helped secure at what was at that time a share of the school's first ever MIAA championship. When you kind of look back on that now, what does that touchdown mean to you?
It's just like I said, when the ball finds me, I'm gonna just do the best I can, and just ended up. Anytime you get in the end zone, it's just a great feeling, because I feel like for a receiver to score, there's a lot that goes into it. The O-line's got to block, hold up, QB's got to catch the snap, make a good throw, and then after all that, I got to beat my defender and I got to get in the end zone after catching the ball. So it's just anytime you get in the end zone, it's just a great experience. It's just great to say I scored or I helped us win that game. A little percent of that, yes.
Man, I feel like it's more than a little though, because like in the grand scheme of things, if you don't score that touchdown, then like we don't win that game. So I mean, like your touchdown and every touchdown scored, I mean, it did have a big impact there. And I don't know if it's something that like maybe 5, 10, 15 years down the road when you all are back. I don't know how many eons ago, maybe then, but like I don't want you to discredit what that touchdown, did. because
Yeah, no,
your
definitely.
touchdown, TD's touchdown, whoever scored in that game, like that helped you all make history. And I mean, there's a lot of just my time covering a lot of good players that have come through and tried and failed to do that. So like, I just don't want. I mean, I get it because you were just doing your job, but like, don't discredit that impact that your score had because that helped what a lot accomplished what a lot of teams tried and failed to do. So I just I don't want you to just discredit yourself for that because that's still in the grand scheme of things is a pretty big touchdown. Um, but now was the locker room after that? Now was it different than Missouri Western? Was there more excitement? Like what was the vibe post Wasper?
There was probably definitely like an equal amount of excitement, but we just knew we had to get back on that bus and go on that long drive again. But like the vibes are definitely different on a win. Like I mean, especially back to back weeks with like wins like that. Like we're just excited, to keep doing what we're doing. Getting a share of the conference, but we still felt like kind of mad in the back of our heads that we had that one loss in conference.
And I remember talking to Coach Doral after the Washburn game, and he said that he could tell in the locker room after the game that like a weight had been lifted off you all's shoulders, because it seemed to some of us that like from that Northeastern State through Washburn, it felt different. It felt like I don't want to say you all were like the weight was becoming too much, but like you could sense that you all knew, what was at stake if you continued to win. And so when he said that, that was good because I know what you all can do when you all play loose and free like the first half of the season. And so going into that Emporia game, I remember at the tailgate, some of us were like, well, if they come out and play, as free as we think that they will, then I mean we'll probably run Emporia out of the building. And that's exactly what happened. So like how were you able to come out the gate so strong in that game and really, pretty much put the game away before it even started?
Yeah, I agree. Like there definitely was a weight lifted off our shoulders, but I feel like we had, kind of that motivation. Like if we won that game and something else, happened to Pitt State, that we could be the only team to win, the conference. So like we just knew we control what we can control, right? So we just had to go out there and just dominate, and we just played loose, we played free, we gave it all we had, and we just played our hand right, and we got blessed that we ended up being the only winners of the conference. So it's just a great feeling.
And after the game, when they handed you all the trophy, there, what were the emotions when your hand hit that wood?
That was a crazy feeling from me. Like for me personally, just to be, I feel like this is the best, like the closest team I ever been on. Like we were just finding ways to win. We all love each other. We all care about each other. So just getting what I feel like we kind of deserved and we worked for, since I got here, and being a transfer that didn't play his first year to now having a huge impact and to help the team win a conference championship that hasn't been done before. That's just a great feeling, a great, just, I guess, crazy opportunity that I've been blessed with. And I feel like all my emotions, once I got that hat, once I held the trophy, like I feel like all that emotion just got to me. And it was just a crazy, crazy experience for me.
Yeah, and it most definitely did because I remember Ian Nickel and I were just on the field just trying to congratulate as many of you possible, and I'm like, is that Ashton shitting under the goalpost? And I'm walking and like there you are, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go, at least congratulate the man. And I could tell you were going through every range of emotion that was humanly possible. It felt like there was joy, there was relief, like there was just a lot on your face. I could just tell. So So like, so people understand when he said he was feeling a lot of emotion. This man was truly feeling.
No, I agree. Yeah, I was just sitting under the goalpost, back against the pad, just sitting there. I had my phone out, but I was just kind of recording that like atmosphere of what I could see, just so I can just have a video and just relive those emotions I was feeling, because it was just a crazy experience just to look up, see MIAA champions, seeing everyone celebrate, all my teammates enjoying it. I was just like proud of everything we accomplished, but I knew we still have more going. Like, we still were not done with the season. Like, we could have ended it right there and been happy with what we did, but we wanted to win a playoff game, and just keep moving forward. We had bigger goals than winning conference, but that was one of the milestones.
And that's something too that like I think might have got lost in all that. It was just like after I don't know, that initial burst of euphoria kind of like settled down. Like I woke up the next day and I'm like, all right, we have a game on Saturday. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I think, when people assume like, okay, there's a break in between conference championships and, like bowls or year in the FCS, FCS playoffs. But no, like it is literally the next week you are playing again. So there really is no rest for the weary there. So when you all, after the playoff selection show and you all learned you were hosting Ouachita Baptist, um, like how quickly did you all shift from like celebratory to okay, we have to go to work again?
It took us, I feel like it probably took a day longer than it normally would, because we had the huge, introduction show or whatever for the playoffs, but we all just kind of knew what we were going to do. We were going to prepare. We were going to try to win, just keep winning. Like, that was the goal. Like, at this point, we were told we're in the playoffs. Cool. We just felt like we, wanted more and we deserved more. So we were just trying to go out there and just practice the way we practice and go out there and just do what we can on Saturday.
And now, when you got in that game, did it feel any different for you from a player standpoint than the other 11 games, or could you tell that there was a difference just from the fact that this was a playoff game? Like, did it seem different? Did it feel different, or did it feel just like another game for you?
There's definitely a little bit of added pressure. I know for me personally, I had a few drops that game, which, you never really want to have, but there's definitely added pressure. But it felt like a normal game. Like, we could handle it. We've been playing good teams, which is part of the best part about being in the MIAA. You play good teams, so you're used to seeing it. So, I just had, a rough drive where I was dropping things, and Coach Doral looked at me and he said, like, you got this. So, I just took a deep breath, and then the ball ended up finding me and I scored that game as well. So that was a great feeling in the playoff game to score. Um, but those drops, I hated them, but I'm just thankful, the quarterback got back to me and, I was able to score. So.
And what was kind of lost too, I feel like, is like those last handful of games. It went from Jet to Dawson to Jet, then Dawson, then Jet again. Now, as a wide receiver, obviously chemistry between the quarterback is huge. So, how tough, I guess, was it to kind of forge that chemistry with two different quarterbacks?
It honestly wasn't that bad because they're always rotating. The quarterbacks were steady rotating in practice, and they're both really good quarterbacks. I mean, you saw it. Jet's a beast, running in the Heartland Hill, and then Dawson would come in and close games. So, I mean, they're both really good quarterbacks. And that's why I just kind of keep it simple, and I just try to do my job and make it easier for the quarterback to find me. And so they'll know where I'd be and they can make the throw easier. I just try to make the quarterback's job easier. So, yeah, building chemistry wasn't that hard since we've been doing it in practice. I've been going with both of them, and they're both really good quarterbacks. So, they kind of put the ball out there. I just got to make it my job to catch it. They make my job easy.
And how big was that Ouachita Baptist win? Because I knew on the other side of that, it was going to be, a stiff game playing at Ferris. And I was just like, we'll get to that when we get to that. But I really wanted, not only for all of you, but I mean for like the seniors, like I just really wanted to get that first win, because here you get to host a playoff game, first time in 20 years. Like I really didn't want you all to be a one and done. So when you all got that win, I once again, in the fashion of which you all got the win, there was Jacob's touchdown, and then there was Zane and Hunter's sack on fourth down in overtime. Like, what were the emotions after that game?
No, I agree. Like that playoff game, it was kind of huge for us because we didn't want to just get to the playoffs. Like if we went to the playoffs, we weren't worried about who we'd play round 2, round 3, round 4. We just want to. We knew there would be one team coming Saturday, and that's the only team we focused on. We just wanted to beat the team that's showing up Saturday. So we weren't thinking ahead. I'm sure at some points probably we would look ahead, but we'd have to relock in, refocus, and game plan and focus on the team we're playing this Saturday.
And then you all, you go up to Ferris. Obviously, the weather is not great. It's snowing. It's freezing cold. Um, and the way the game was going, I mean, like you all were in the game early on, and then
Yeah.
a few things happened, and then it snowballed. And I always say, I think I felt at the very end, I'm like, the score is not going to tell the full story. Like, and that's why I wanted to know, like, while the score it looked bad, it doesn't diminish anything that happened this season. And so, I know it didn't end the way that you all wanted it to end, but when you look back and see this time last year, you all were at home, like you all were literally at, well, I mean, you weren't here last year, but your team was at home. And so to go from 5-6 to 11-2 conference champs, you win a playoff game, you give what ends up being the national championship team a scare at home. I mean, when you look back on it, obviously I know the ultimate goal is to win the national championship, but like, do you feel for the most part you all accomplished everything you set out to do in the 2024 season?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, of course we wanted to win the national championship. That's everyone's goal. Ended up losing to the national champion. But going from a team where they were 5-6, 6-5 to winning 11, going 11-2, like you can't just expect to all of a sudden bring in few people, turn the season around, and just be national champions right away. It's building blocks. And we just got to keep adding the right pieces and keep working. I feel like we're building. I feel like we're just building. We're going in the right direction. 11-2. So now this season, we just got to keep moving forward, and we got to build off that 11-2 season. And we can't just let it be just a random. Oh, they had a good season, and then the next season not do as well. Of course, it's going to be hard to live up to that standard of 11-2. But we just want to do what we do and just keep it going, and just try to keep building and build off last season.
And for you, in individually, you finished the season 62 catches, 749 yards, 7 touchdowns. Did it meet your expectations personally for what you had hoped to accomplish this season?
It exceeded my expectations, to be honest. Going in the first game as a backup, I was probably just hoping to get 300 or 400 yard, have a 300 or 400 yard season. And just the way the ball just kept finding me, and, just at the end of the day, just doing my job, and, having a great quarterback, great O-line, great team, success just helped me gain success personally. So that's why I always kind of just focus on what I can do and the team's success, because when the team's having success, I'll have success at the end of the day. So it's just a great experience that just exceeded my expectations. I never would have thought I would have 7 touchdowns and 750 yards. I'm thankful for it.
And talk about the moment in which you learned you were named MIAA Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, so I was actually taking a test in biology, and I finished it, and I was walking out of the building, and I just saw notifications on my phone, and I'm like, "Oh, what is this?" There's a lot on Twitter, so I went to Twitter or whatever, and saw it. My dad sent it to me in a family text, and it was just kind of a crazy experience, a surreal experience that I went from playing 3 plays against OU when I was at Tulsa to being a huge, having a part of a team success. So, it was just a great feeling to have. And I couldn't have done it without myself. So, I had to thank everybody for who helped me get to that point, all the coaches, all the players, all my teammates, so I'm just thankful for everybody that I could even be placed in a situation where I could do, have the stats I had.
And you mentioned fairly early on in this in the interview that you had considered quitting at some point, either before you enter the portal or in the portal. Now getting this honor, having this success, I mean, I'm sure it's an easy question to answer, but like, you pretty confident you made the right choice?
Oh, yeah, I know. I'll tell my parents every day, like, this is just, I made the greatest choice of my life probably when I entered that portal.
and and now because you all are losing, a few guys, Ridge, Jacob, what do you feel like you have to do this year to continue to build off the success that you had to help this team defend this conference championship?
Yeah. So, we lost a lot of good pieces. They were all really good. They had impact on the team, but I feel like we're bringing in some more pieces. And we just kind of have to do the same thing that those guys did. Those guys brought me in, as a transfer. They didn't really know me. They brought me in. They, kind of just showed me the way, showed me the culture. So I feel like with these new guys, we got to get them on the same track, get them on the same page so we can go out there and, maybe have 11 wins again or have a successful season, just bringing on the new guys, the high schoolers, get them going, get everybody going, get everyone on the same page, build a culture that, we're used to having.
And this off season, what do you kind of feel like you need to work on, build on the most to help you have success again in 2025?
For me, it's just a lot of little things like just technical stuff in my routes and just, little things like that to be better. I want to be better after the catch. And it's just a lot of watching film, just tweaking little things that I don't like or trying to just, add to my play style. So if I see something that I like from one guy, I can really, uh, kind of take it and add to it and kind of make it my own. And yeah, so it's just a lot of little technical things that, I wasn't happy about, but, just always wanted to get better and just never wanted to be like stationary or stagnant.
Oh, well, before we get you out of here, we do this with all the new guests and we get to know you type questions. So, your favorite sports team can be any sport.
The Texans.
Okay. Okay. Now, last year, last year was good. Was good for you all. This year, I mean, you can't say it wasn't bad, but I mean, like, how do you kind of feel now? Couple of years into the Miko Ryan's, is it Cesaro? I forgot what his name is. How do you feel like? Are they what they showed this year, or are they what they showed last year?
Yeah, I mean, CJ Stroud had that good first year, so it's hard to build on that. But I mean, he did pretty well his second year. I'm hoping we can build off this and finally beat the Chiefs because right now the Chiefs are haunting us. So if we can get past the Chiefs, we'll be all right. And of course, Doral being a Chiefs fan doesn't really help me much, so we'll go back and forth about that every now and then. So hopefully the Texans can pull out a win. Just beat the Chiefs, please.
Yeah, I was about to say because I know your head coach and your quarterback.
Yeah, I think me and Jet were actually going to try to go to that game when they played. We might have made a trip up there, but we figured it'd just be easier to watch it.
So now, okay, wait. Now, as a Texas fan, did you take great joy in watching the Eagles beat them the way that they did?
Yeah, yeah. Well, so one of our so we got a transfer receiver. His name's Christian. It's my boy Crispy. He's a huge Philadelphia fan because he's from out there. So like, just watching him just mess with everyone and troll all the Chiefs fans in the area and on the team is great. Like, it was great. So watching the Chiefs lose, of course, was amazing because the Texans can't ever beat them. So, it was great.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Do you have a favorite Texan player?
Right now, it's probably CJ Stroud. He's great. You gotta love CJ Stroud. But of all time, it'd probably be like JJ Watt or Andre Johnson. Watching those dudes growing up, they're great dudes.
Okay. Okay. You have a favorite wide receiver that you like to watch?
Favorite wide receiver, okay. I got a few. Say growing up when I was little was Odell, of course. That one's kind of, expected. I like watching, let's see, being a Houston fan, DeAndre Hopkins. He's great, but Cooper Kupp, me and him have a lot of similarities, He's great. Let's see. You got to love watching Justin Jefferson. I mean, he's insane. Another Houston one, Stephon Diggs. Getting him, that was a crazy pickup to me. Mind blowing. Tank Dell, he's just staying in Houston. He's a dog. I just kind of like watching all the receivers, and I just like them what they do. Jordan Addison, he's good, kind of different play style, but I like watching him. So I just like watching pretty much all the star receivers. I like watching. I just like watching, what they do, how they get open, watching the different moves they do. It's just interesting to me, just watching ball.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, your favorite hobby outside of football?
Let's see. I be on the game. Yeah, it's pretty much. I like. I don't know. Yeah, I be playing the game right now. It's pretty much all I'm doing has been playing the game.
Okay, now when we say playing the game, are we talking Xbox, PlayStation, or PC?
So I've always played Xbox growing up, but I got a laptop for school, so I got a gaming laptop. So I'd be playing Fortnite. I'd be playing Fortnite on my gaming laptop, but I'll be playing like NCAA or I'll play some Madden every now and then on my Xbox.
Okay, now this is big because I've did two so far in the many interviews I've conducted. The only Xbox guys I'm aware of is Coach Curley and Coach Doral. Everybody else is PlayStation, and they always point out that it's just Curley and Doral. So now, you being one of the very few Xbox people on the team, why are you still Team Xbox when a lot of former Xbox have jumped to the PlayStation?
Yeah, so for me, my first, I started with the Xbox 360, but then COVID happened, so I was like, all my friends got the new Xbox because they've always had an Xbox. So I was like, I might as well just get an Xbox. Plus, it was COVID, so like PS5 prices were like $750 to $1,000, and the new Xbox was over here like $300, $400. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just get a new Xbox and then just stay with the Xbox. Okay. So it really was just the price during COVID. That was pretty much it.
Okay, yeah, I can respect somebody being financially responsible. Okay. Now, so you say you play college football. Who is your go-to team on the game?
I started using Kentucky just because they had they had that stud receiver that ended up getting hurt. Barryon, I think, number 7. He had 98 speed. Then they had another dude who was 98 speed. And they weren't like too high overall, so like you can match up well against them. So yeah, they just had two 98 speed receivers that I would just use on fake screens and everything and get one play touchdowns easily with them. Yeah, I was trying to do anything I could to win. Is
Now, were there head-to-head matchups between the team?
Oh, definitely all the time. All the time. I think there was a period where everyone was just playing it. Like people would just walk in my door showing up to play it. I know people would go to other people's apartments to play them. Like it became a big thing.
Now, is there a consensus on who would be the best NCAA player on the team?
I don't know. I've really heard a few. I know Wes is pretty good, Johnny's pretty good, and Rob's good. I know those are like the main three. I don't really know, how they played against each other, or who else is good, but I'm sure there's a lot of other good people.
Yeah, I know. When I talked to Montreal, he also said Rob, I think, was like one of the better Madden players too.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
Now I don't know. Now I asked this to everybody because now when I talked to J-Mo, now he swore up and down he was one of the better Madden players on the team. He had a specific playbook that he would not divulge that works every time. Now I asked Montreal if this was a true statement. Is J-Mo one of the better ones on the team? He said no. So I'll pose the same question to you. I'll pose that question to you now. Is J-Mo one of the better Madden players on the team?
Honestly, I don't really know. I haven't played a whole bunch of Madden. Like I've played some with my friends back home, but I haven't played, much head-to-head Madden with anybody up here really.
Okay. Now, if you had to take an educated guess, though, would you say it's more likely that he is or more likely that he isn't?
Probably not, no. Probably not. I heard Rob's a dog, so I feel like Rob's probably, one of the best.
Great. Let's see. Okay. Okay. See your favorite musical artist.
I would say Lil Baby probably. Lil Baby or Rod Wave. Those are my two favorite artists probably right now.
Okay. Let's see. Now you have a favorite song between the two.
I know they had a song together that was on Lil Baby's new album. It's called By Myself. Was pretty good. But I don't know. I have a few songs for both of them that are just my go-tos. I know Lil Baby, I like Get Money. That one's a good song. Dumb, Dumber, and whatever it's called. Dumb and Dumber, that's a good song. Then Raw Wave is like 2019, just kind of, calmer vibes, just more peaceful. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, now who gets the most play pregame though?
There's really a mix. There's a lot of Lil Baby in there. They don't play Raw Wave much, but Lil Baby and Young Boy get played a lot. Chief Keef will get played some. Boss Man D-Lo will get played. Just the hype stuff to get everyone going.
I'm going to show my age because when you say Chief Keef, that genuinely brought a tear to my eye because I remember being a junior in high school when he dropped I Don't Like, and I remember hearing that for the first time, and my mind just shattered by that. And I was talking to who was it? Maybe it was Coach Donald about this. I don't remember. But I'm like, it comes on now on shuffle mode, and I'm like, this is a good song. And I remember vividly having good memories tied to this song. But I'm like, I'm driving home from my 9 to 5. I don't know if I'm trying necessarily get hyped to Chief Keef. So I end up skipping the song. And so I'm like, and I know he finally released, I don't know if it was an album or mixtape. And I was like, you know what? He hasn't released it in a while. I'm going to listen to it. And I got like 2 tracks in, and I'm like, maybe I hit that age where it just doesn't hit the same because I'm like, this is just not it. But it's good to see the younger generation still playing Chief Keef. I felt like if you wanted to get hyped, Chief Keef was always the way to go. I just that Back from the Dead mixtape was just fantastic from top to bottom. But okay, good, very good. Um, okay, now in terms of the aux, because I've been told it's not a place for the weak. Your phone will get yanked. So, in your opinion, who is the best on the aux?
Let's see. Typically, I'd say Johnny's probably one of the best. It's really him. It's either him or Lamb that are always on the aux. And let's say Lamb needs to get off the aux. Lamb, needs to just stay away. He'll play some good music every now and then, but then he'll go and play one of his songs, and it's probably like, all right, Lamb, keep it going, Lamb. So yeah, definitely Johnny. Johnny's music's better than Lamb, but Lamb's music's not bad, and he'll just throw his song in there, and then it's just causes havoc, and it's very funny. So yeah.
Okay, so who, in your opinion, is the worst?
Well, like I said, there's not many people that go on there, but I mean, there's people who go in there and they'll play like country music before, and there's a lot of the team likes that, but then there's other people who don't, so it's kind of just hard to say one. But I'd say for the fun of it and for his reaction, Lamb needs to stay off the aux.
Now, I asked this question, and the names that I always get is Lamb, is Hunter, and it's Andrew Carney. Like, those three reoccur every time. I know when I talked to Hunter, he fiercely defended his take, went into great detail about new country, old country, red dirt. It was a beautiful spiel. He was fiercely defending his choice of music on the aux chord. Now, again, country's not my forte, but what he was saying sounded like he knew his stuff. So I don't, but I do know that Lamb has come up as routinely either one of the best or one of the worst, or like you said, it's like a mix where sometimes he's really good, sometimes he's really bad. You just don't know.
Definitely. Okay. He's random. Yeah, that's for sure.
Now, have you ever been on the aux?
I'll just kind of put my phone. I'll never, like, if everyone leaves, I'm kind of just in there, just chilling, just, after the train or whatever, I'll go in there and just play my music. But I'm never just on aux in front of like the whole team or anything. I don't just casually go up there, because when you go in there and plug your phone, you got to sit up there, and I don't really do that. So, I just sit in my locker, just listening to their music, whatever they want to play, and just chilling before practice or before run or before lift.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, your favorite food.
Favorite food. I feel like probably be a steak. Probably steak, baked potato, and a salad. Probably is my go-to meal.
Okay, now I ask this every time. Do we eat this? Is it rare, medium rare, or well done?
Medium. I just give regular, just medium. Just medium.
Now, you have a favorite cut? You have a favorite cut of steak?
Not really. Just anything. Any steak. Yeah, but I also love some. Yeah, being from the South, I like crawfish. That's great. Shrimp, all that. I want a seafood boil right now. I'm craving one. So I need to, when I go back home, I need to get some seafood. That's for sure.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. All right. Now, in terms of gear, now I don't recall offhand exactly. I think you have a towel. I know you have gloves. That's about all I can remember in terms of gear. Now, are you like a JMO where you dress to the net to be dressed to the nines, or are you more of just like just give me a glove, a towel, and let me go out there and play?
Yeah, I'm kind of a mix. I'd say I'm a happy medium. I like to do something, but I don't do anything crazy. Like for a spring game, I wore the socks all the way up over my knee, but like my calves will start cramping, so you'll always see me in low socks. Always see me in low socks, maybe in some tights, maybe, but low socks. And then up top, I'll do compression shirt or maybe no shirt sometimes, throwing some armbands, or usually I'm a left arm sleeve guy. So I
Okay,
try to keep it simple.
now, why just the left?
I just feel more comfortable with it on my left. That's always been a thing for me for like high school and everything. Just felt better on my left, but sometimes I'd wear both, and I just didn't like it on my right side for whatever reason. Probably because I'm a righty, so every time I tuck, I like it just on my skin. I don't want it to, have it on the arm sleeve and slide and fumble. It's more just like a mental thing, probably.
Okay. Now, who would you say is the best dressed in the wide receiver room?
Wide receiver room. I know Jake's was pretty good. Me and him kind of always talked about it. It's probably me or Jake, probably. TD keeps it simple too. Me and TD are kind of similar. Just the arm sleeve, low socks, pretty much. But Jake, I know, would do some flashy things with his cleats every now and then, would have some custom cleats. So yeah, me or Jake, probably.
Now, I know you because you mentioned him, so now I feel obligated to ask. Now, we were driving to the Washburn game, and I rode with our AD, Chris Brannick, and then the radio guys, John Fitzgerald and Todd Listenby. And Chris gets a phone call, and he's like, "Yep, oh no, okay." And we're like, "Okay, what just happened?" And he's like, "It looks like Chico forgot his jersey." And I'm sitting there like, now, this is the biggest game in 20 years. I feel like you would remember to pack the jersey. Like, did he receive any flack for that?
Oh, definitely. We definitely all gave him a hard time, and we're like, who is number 14 and why does he look like Jake Doso? And we just gave him a hard time, like, how do you forget your jersey? Like, it was literally in the bag that was placed. Still to this day, don't know what he did or what happened to the jersey. Just know it wasn't in his bag.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you forget a jersey?
Yeah, no, I definitely gave him a hard time because, he just forgot his jersey. I mean, it happens, I guess.
How you forget it? And then, like, it was funny because, like, so so they you get like a roster, and like the SIDs are supposed to like circle starters or whatever, right? Well, it was like, all right, well, we don't have a number one, so we had to cross out one and put 14 by Jacob. Well, I don't know if you all noticed, but like every time he made a play, they said Byron Johnson, because that's who's listed on the roster as 14. And so when he had that punt return, it was like Byron Johnson returned down to it, and I'm like, see, now this man's he's not going to get proper credit for the plays that he's making. And I went to him after the game. I was like, how do you forget the jersey? And I got no response. I got a half-hearted chuckle and a quick change of subjects. So
Definitely. No, I don't know how he did that. So I definitely gave him a hard time, and because I was in the locker next to him, he goes, "Dude, I forgot my jersey." I'm like, first, I'm just thinking, like, no way, like, he's being serious right now. There's no way.
It's like, bro, come on, the jersey, like that's. Oh, well, that's. But it's sad because I remember it was uttered in the car was just like, how do you forget the jersey? And I'm like, it is Jacobs.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, Oh, boy, that's just tough. Oh, shit. Okay. Do you have any pregame routines that you normally do?
Pre-game routine. If my parents come to the game, we'll just go get dinner. If not, I really just go home, shower, just feel better, to be honest. And I just kind of relax and just chill and just really just recover. Like after the game, I'm so tired, and if it was a day game, I feel like I would just be drained from the sun, so I would just like start drinking a lot of water and just get dinner if my parents didn't come, so just like recovering after the game. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Now I feel obligated to ask because when you posted your highlights, I had to do a double take because I'm sitting and I'm like, that sounds like my voice. Let me go back and listen to this again. And I was like, sure enough, there's a soundbite of me from, I think it was the Missouri Southern episode. And I'm like, man, this is a first. So at first I want to thank you for using the soundbite. The second, how did that come about? Like, because to be honest, I was shocked because I don't think anybody's ever used a soundbite of mine in their highlight videos yet. So I'm just on my own curiosity. How did that come about then?
So the highlight videos, I did that myself. But I'll listen to the podcast, and so I heard if I had a good game, I'll definitely listen and tune in. And I heard that part, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna screen record that. I may use it later, I may not. We'll see. And I was making my own highlight, and I thought like it would have been cool because I had the first one was from the dude at Ferris State, which was on ESPN. So that was a good sounding clip, and it said where I'm from. And then, I just wanted to add some more, and I remembered I had that one. So then I just threw it in there, and it kind of made like for a good intro.
Well, first I appreciate you for listening. That's first thing.
Definitely.
I saw it. I was just like, man, that right there was pretty cool. Like it was weird because when the blocked field goal against Wasper, Brannick was recording that, and you hear my voice saying that like it's blocked. I'm like, man, this is just like a better year for me getting into soundbite somehow. So this is really wild. But okay, yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm like, that sounded like me. Let me go back, and then I'm like, I think that's me. I do it one more time, and I'm like, that is most definitely me. And so I was caught off guard, but okay. That's good to know. Okay. Well, all right. Well, that is a first. Okay. Well, I guess my final question for you would be, what can UCO fans expect to see out of Ashton Schumann this upcoming season?
This upcoming season, I hope to do what I did in last season, and just build off of that and have a better season, more yards, more touchdowns, hopefully more wins, and I'm always going to do the best I can and do what I'm supposed to do and, execute and do what I do when the ball finds me. I'm going to stay consistent, be that guy, and just do the best I can when the ball finds me.
Well, I appreciate you taking time this Friday evening to come on and talk to us. I'm wishing you the best of luck this off season, this spring. Anytime you want to come back on and or use more sound bites, you're more than welcome to.
Definitely. I appreciate you for having me, and following along the season and, just being a great host, Well,
I appreciate that. It is I don't say the chore, but it definitely is a lot in the course of the season. But it was definitely worth it though. So I just always appreciate you all support like tenfold. So it makes my job a lot easier when I know people that I'm doing it for are also appreciative too. So I also appreciate you. Your families. I know your father supports my content too, so I really appreciate him as well. That's always the cool part of it. So, but yeah, no. So I appreciate it. But like I said, anytime you want to come back on, or you need more sound bites. I mean, I have all my audio files. So now you just tell me the episode. I can send you the clip. I really I have the files now. So
definitely.